Hey, it's Rob. Welcome to Axel's Garage. Alright, it's cold out. It's like overcast and just crappy. And my wife says, I have no heat. And she actually, I tried to explain to her, you have heat. It's just not blowing. But there's heat. Didn't work. So, it's a 2004 Trailblazer. And when we bought it, the blower, it's got 5 settings on the blower for the heat and AC. And number 5 worked sometimes. Didn't work all the time. Sometimes you put it on 5 and it didn't work. Sometimes it would be working, then it would stop blowing. But 1 through 4 always worked. Now, the way these things are wired is fan setting 1 to 4 goes through the resistor, through the relay that's in the resistor, but it goes through the resistor coils or whatever they are, and then it hits that relay and it trips the fan on. That's 1 to 4. 5 bypasses the resistor part of that circuit and just goes right through the relay and goes straight out. Now, of course, the first thing we did was check the fuses. There's a 10 amp fuse. There's also a big 40 amp fuse. So you check all that stuff, make sure that's good first, of course, and we did do that. We're thinking that it's going to be the blower resistor, and we're going to try to quickly troubleshoot it with a test light just to make sure, because sometimes the resistor actually doesn't go bad. It's the harness connection that goes bad, where it plugs into the resistor because of the heat and the voltage going through there. It was a poor design, and a lot of times you'll see that melt. Most auto parts stores have that little harness repair kit in stock. So if they got a little harness repair kit that in stock, you know it's a seller, because these things are known for that. And probably, I think it's 02 to 09 Trailblazers all have this same issue. But I don't have the mic on today because we're gonna be grabbing the camera by hand to show you. It's up under the dash, under the glove compartment, and I'll pull the camera off the tripod and we'll get inside the car. Really, all you need is a pair of needle nose pliers, and I think it's a 7mm and like a 7/32 socket, little socket. So grab a little socket set, should be pretty easy. All right, so in the car, you got the glove compartment, and just under the glove compartment, you got 2 little screws that hold on this plastic thing, and those are 7mm heads. This one's already partially out, so I wonder if this thing was taken apart in the past. Don't know. So I'll pull them out, we'll pull this panel down, and we'll see. Alright, so under the panel, I found 2 harnesses that aren't even plugged in. Everything seemed to be working in the car. I don't know if these are supposed to be plugged in. Maybe they're for a different option package. I don't know. There's 2 things just hanging there. Alright, so now you pop that little, inside the glove compartment, there's this little retainer clip that allows you to hang the glove compartment down all the way. Oh, and all her shit's gonna fall out. Let me move her stuff out of it. There we go. Alright, so here's the blower motor. This is the wire here in the side of the blower motor. You can see it right there, that red wire coming in, that goes to the resistor itself. So if I pull that out, let me put the camera down. So I got that wire pulled out. That's the power going into the blower motor. So we're going to grab a test light and attach the test light to a ground. That should be a good ground there. And there should be no power. So I got the test light in there. It's not lighting up. There should be no power because the ignition's off. Now I'm going to turn the ignition on. Alright, I got the ignition on. And I'm going to plug the test light into that red wire. And I got power going into there, which you're supposed to. It's going to switch to ground. So I shouldn't have ground on the other one. So I got constant power. I know my fuses are good. I should have power here. So we're good there. Now what we need to do is pull that resistor out, and let me close the glove compartment, and we got to get back underneath, and I'll show you where that resistor is located. All right, so all the way up under right here is the resistor, and I just tapped it, look, and the fan came on. So, look at that. It looks like the wiring harness is just loose, because I could move it right there, and now the fan's not on, and if I jiggle it, the fan's on. So that's a loose wiring harness. So we're going to take that wiring harness out. See, good thing we didn't go run out and buy a resistor. All right, let me pull that wiring harness down, and we'll see if we could try to tighten it up somehow. All right, so here's our harness. You can see in there, it's kind of just sloppy in there. So I don't know if it's a problem with the harness or the resistor. So I'm just going to try to see if I can just move these over a little bit so that when they slide in, they hold it in tight. I'm just going to use a little pick or a small flat blade screwdriver just to try to get this tighter in that opening. You can see there's a lot of slop in the whole system, but I don't know if the problem is on this end or if that resistor was replaced and the resistor itself doesn't have the retention that the OE one does. I'm not sure, but at least we know it's not the resistor and it's just this being loose. All right, so playing with those terminals really didn't help, but what I did was I put a cable tie right up there, grabbing the wires and kind of pulling them towards the rear part of the vehicle, and now it's in there good. Even when you push on it, it's making a good connection now. So that was a cable tie fix. Pretty good. Let me button it back up and we'll wrap it up. All right, so we got that panel popped back on. It seems to be working. Normally speaking, I would have went out and got the resistor because I really thought it was that resistor that was bad, and especially because it had initially stopped working on 5 before it stopped working altogether. So I figured that there was definitely circuitry in the resistor that was bad. It's just odd that that thing was so loose. Now, like I said, I don't know if it's the resistor part of it that's making it loose, if the harness part of it is just old and crappy. To fix it right, you probably would have to get that new harness repair end that I was talking about, and I'll put a link to the resistor and to the harness repair end in the description below. They're not expensive parts. Even locally, if I priced it out locally, if I had to go run to like my local AutoZone or Advance Auto, it was like $35 for the resistor, and I think it was like 10 to 12 bucks for the repair harness. So with the cable tie, which probably cost what, less than a penny for one cable tie, we got it fixed. So I'm glad I didn't go out and buy the stuff. But now, once we start driving around and the bouncing around stuff, if it starts to loosen up and we start to lose contact again, I'm going to have to either replace that resistor or replace the harness. I'll probably try the harness end first, because it just feels sloppy. But I don't know why it's sloppy, whether it's sloppy in the resistor or not. I guess I could take the old resistor out, bring it to the auto parts store, and try the harness before I buy it and see if that harness snaps in there good. If it's just as sloppy as this one, then I know I got to get a resistor. But we're hoping the cable tie will hold it together. I think it will. I don't think we're going to have a problem until the resistor actually goes bad. But that was the best fix. The sun's coming out. I'm not working today, and I didn't have to go to the auto parts store. The car's fixed. My wife's happy. It cost less than a penny, and I think maybe I'll get back to the brakes on the Big Dummies K5. That's it today from Axel's Garage. Hope you enjoyed the video. Remember, do a little troubleshooting before you go out and buy parts, and just throw parts at it, because you wouldn't have realized. You would have thought it was bad and replaced the part and plugged it back in, and you would have spent money. That's it. Axel's Garage. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe, and check out our new channel, Axel's Kitchen, for all the foodies who like to eat. We got some good reviews and some neat places we've been going to. Check it out, and thanks for watching.